Hello YouTube, this is MG2010 with a discussion video. This one's going to be all about hand traps. As you see, I have Maxi and Effect Failure right here. And in this segment, this is not the last of them, I will be talking about hand traps, or not just hand traps. In this one, I'm going to be talking about hand traps. And others, I will be talking about things I feel are important in this meta. So, first one will be about hand traps, of course. We'll start off with Effect Failure. So when Effect Failure came out, it was a pretty low dollar card. 10 to 15 for the Ultra, and 15 to 20 for the Ulti. So no one really knew its potential until new decks and new cards came out. That's when people started realizing that this card would actually end up being a great card to counteract every deck. So for instance, you play this card against the Wind-Up Loop. They go off with Hunter. You stop them in their tracks right there because they can't do anything. So basically, it forced them to lose a turn and an effect. So, for instance, if I did this at my locals this weekend, Effect Failure or Stardust, they attack with it, I flip Mirror Force and it gets destroyed. It does not come back because its effect is not there. So, people really realized this card's potential as the format went on, and this card became higher priced. At its peak, the Ultra was about 20 to 30. Ulti was about 30 to 40. Rare was actually, I remember seeing it 10 to 15. So the card was actually pretty pricey. Then the card got reprinted currently as a super in the new special edition, the Order of Chaos, and the card is still very busted. Most competitive decks do play this card. It's better than many traps because you could play it off of activation of a card. It's very quick, and this is why this card has potential, and people realize it had potential. Next card. This card is called Maxi. Most of you already know it. For all you very good and professional players, run this card. I myself am not, do not spend as much money on this game as some others, but I do actually have one. So basically, this card is pretty much the same story as Effect Failure in price. It started off as a $10 to $20 card. No one knew its potential. And of course, new decks come out, special summon a lot, wind-ups come to example, sometimes Lightsworn, and people realize, hey, this card's the card to stop it. So, for all you people who don't know, Maxi is played on either player's turn, and every time your opponent special summons, you draw a card. Wind-Up Loop, I don't even know how many times you special summon. I think you at least get +4, maybe more, depending how far they want to go. So people realized this card was the answer to many decks. So obviously, supply and demand. People wanted this card. The demand went up. Actually, it has nothing to do with supply and demand. It was basically demand and not being printed anymore. So it was not supplied because not everyone had it because people didn't think it was good. And those smart Yu-Gi-Oh players that predicted its increase, like the players that predicted Wind-Up Rabbit going up, they could make money off of it because they realized that, hey, this card is good and people don't realize it, so let me pick up as many as I can. And lo and behold, $15 transformed into $90. Still rising because no reprint is heard. So those are my thoughts on these two hand traps. They're pretty much both played in many competitive decks. I won't play them in my Lightsworn deck right here. But only one ofs because the deck can't fit much, but it's a little off task. So those are my thoughts on hand traps format and why they're so good. Thank you for watching. This has been MG2010. Please post in the comment section down below what you think of hand traps' format in terms of price to really anything about them. Thank you for watching. This has been Energy 10 out of 10, and peace, YouTube.